Welcome to Help Stop the Genocide in American Ghettos podcast. I'm your host, Emmanuel Barbie. I'm the founder, president, and CEO of GRCAM, the Grassroots Community Activist Movement. On this platform, we discuss authentic urban news across the diaspora, as well as what's happening on the African continent. If you if you're joining us for the first time, please hit that like button, share, and subscribe to my YouTube page. We encourage our listeners worldwide to engage with us by leaving a public comment about the topic in the comment section below this audio podcast. Help make our audio podcast and our video podcast go viral by sharing my YouTube page with all of your friends on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, and X, or any other social media sites that you are on. This will help get the ball rolling. Disclaimer: this content is for educational and informational purposes only. It is based on public available reports and verified media sources. We fully comply with YouTube's community guidelines. We do not promote violence, hate, or misinformation in any form. This podcast is available in two forms: audio and also as a written text, in order for us to reach our audience. Help Stop the Genocide in American Ghettos podcast is our Black media component. I would like to encourage my listeners to subscribe to my Medium page, where you can follow along during this presentation, because I always post my weekly presentations on my Medium page. And so also I posted on my Substack page as well. I provide my Medium transcript in the comment section below this audio podcast. I use my platform to share with people who are on my social groups and on my friends list. I encourage Black artists, African artists, such as authors, poets, musicians, and Black entrepreneurs, African entrepreneurs, to make arrangements with me to come on this platform to promote your books, your business, your music, or if you have a small ministry, you're more than welcome to share a 30-minute sermon with my listeners from the global community. After the show, I offer my guest speakers an incentive by teaching them how to create their own podcast, YouTube channel, and Wix website, so that they can launch their own online business or online ministry to the global community. I want to do more than just news and social commentary, but at this point in time, this is where I'm at. Without financial support from the Black grassroots and the global African family, then I am unable to do my God-given assignment, which is to recruit like-minded, brave, and smart Black Americans beyond Chicago, and like-minded, brave, and smart African immigrants across the United States of America. And so the way I'm trying to recruit people is through my revised book. I wrote my book to recruit people, law-abiding citizens. But specifically, I would say Black Americans who identify themselves as descendants of American slaves / freedmen, because that's what I am. And that's what this is all about. And my goal is to encourage our Black youth to join the grassroots community activist movement, because after all, this movement is for you. This business is for you and your family, regardless if you live in the inner cities or not, regardless of what social class you may belong to. Um, but, and if you don't even live in America, this organization right now only exists online, but I want to recruit brave and smart people to move from behind a computer. I need smart boots on the ground here in the city of Chicago. And before all that happens, I want everyone to read my story first. So I encourage people to please read my ebook. It's available for $9.99. I have the link in the comment section below this audio podcast under my Amazon author page. You'll find it on there, as well as the softcover book for $15 plus shipping and handling. Well, I am called to create the best, I would say, Black business within the United States of America, and that would be the Grassroots Community Activist Institute of Chicago. We want to get it popping here in Chicago for credibility before we expand it to 10 African nations. Each African nation that we visit, we're going to set up local chapters so that way we can do international trade with our brothers and sisters on the continent. But we want to get it popping here, like I say, in Chicago first, because again, this is for credibility. I want the whole Black world to know my story. I want to make sure none of my members never have to experience what I went through just for trying to do something positive in the Black community. I'm reaching out to the global African family. If you're serious about me bringing my Christian business to the continent, then please help me get my ebook on that bestsellers list. Put me on blast. That means, just let everybody know. Let everybody know about my book. Encourage them to read my story. And I only want to hear from people that's in agreement. Anyone that disagree, you're entitled to your opinions, but just keep it moving because you ain't going to change my mind. Over here, we're about solving Black issues here in America. When I come to Africa, I'm going to focus on solving African issues. So I'm reaching out to African immigrants from 10 African nations: South Africa, Kenya, Ethiopia, Tanzania, Uganda, Angola, Liberia, Ivory Coast, Ghana, and Nigeria. The reason why I'm reaching out to you all is to help speed up the process. I mean, truth be told, I'm unable to reach Black Americans. I've been pushing this business idea for the past 34 years, still on first base, and it's unacceptable. Trying to get this thing popping, trying to create something productive, and in my business is going to be membership based. We're going to vet everyone. That means, make sure we screen people and weed out the wrong type of people. People that's just, they're melanated like us, but they have, they want to undermine us, basically. They don't want us to improve the Black community because they're in the pockets of the white supremacist financial elites. And that's their goal, is to keep Black Americans, I would say, stagnant. That's why things don't get done. And I'm not ashamed to ask for help. I'm reaching out to African immigrants and the global African family because I want to spend the rest of my life, just being stagnant. I want to move this thing forward. You know what I'm saying? This is how come I do this um my podcast every week. I talk about different topics, but the same agenda applies. Encouraging my listeners to read my story. If you don't want to buy items from the virtual store, cool, fine. It is what it is. But in order for me to hire people, I have to generate capital. That's why I wrote the book. That's why I have a virtual store. That's how things work. Um, and so, yes, I understand that you all are here trying to live your American dreams. But again, it was my ancestors from the civil rights era that fought and died and all that stuff in order for you all to come over here to have a better life, have opportunities. And yeah, my racial group, Black Americans, are acting funny style with me. That's because of the slave mentality. But mark my words, once they see this business materialize, then everybody's going to want to come out the woodwork. But ain't nothing changing on my end. We still going to vet everybody. We want to weed out con artists, pedophiles, degenerates, hardened criminals, urban terrorists, and let them know that there's no place for them in this business. But that's all I'm asking. Read my story, please. And if you agree with the vision and plan, help me run this thing because I can't do everything. Just one Black man with a vision and a plan. It takes a team to make a dream work. And truth be told, the white supremacist financial elites only wanted Europeans, immigrants here in America, no one else really. So I'm just putting that out there and letting you know. Like I say, purchase my revised book, read my story for yourself. If you agree with my vision and plan, you will automatically become a Gurkhan member. And I'm going to go into more detail about that on Saturday because that's what the whole purpose of me holding my monthly virtual interactive conferences is to explain about the film project, why that's important. I'm not interested in writing more books. I'm interested in building effective and successful Black Christian businesses. That's what I want to create and be known for. You know what I'm saying? So, that's what this is all about. This business is for Black millennials and Generation Z. I'm calling upon Black content creators and African content creators who have a large following. Please allow me to come on your platform so that way I can discuss my revised book and my film project with your audience. Again, this is not my burden alone. This is a shared burden. And it's going to take Gurkhan members. It's going to be us to take the lead. Because a lot of people I run across, they're just full of games and, you know, it's just, it's really sad and things like that. But, you know, as long as I got this platform, I'm going to keep doing the best that I can to keep beating that drum. That's all I can do and pray. But faith without works is dead. That's how come, again, I do these interactive conferences because I want to interact with everybody that's on my friends list, everybody that's in my social groups. I want to give you all the opportunity to interact with me. Definitely on these monthly virtual interactive conferences. Don't, and if you're afraid, or sorry, if you feel uncomfortable about being on camera, just use your icon then. Cover up your camera. You could just do a voice call, you know, if you feel like that. But I just want us to interact with each other. I'm encouraging those of you that's, readers, please read my story. Put me on blast in order to help speed up this process. I'm getting up in age, and man, I'm like, I really want to be on the continent, but I don't want to go to just get on a plane and just go to Africa right now because, is defeat the purpose. It's about us getting it popping here in America first. So when I do come to Africa, I can bring economic tangibles in the form of job creation for GCAM members, provide employment for the locals. But that's what I want to do. That's how come this is a business. So I can hire people. But in order for me to hire people, I got to make money through my revised book. You know what I'm saying? And that's how come I'm trying to do the film. So the proceeds from that film, I can be in a better position financially to do or to hire, I would say, Black people, African people, and others. Um, so if you live here in the United States, um, then get behind this film project. Um, Hood Liberator, made in Chicago, the war against Willie Lynch begins. It's based on my experience, you know, and the film, I want to make sure that it's going to be exciting and all that stuff because this is representing grassroots. We doing this we're getting it from the mud because right now, it only exists online. My bank at Chase, they keep trying to encourage me to take out a business loan, and I have to I keep declining because my book is barely selling. So I'm not gonna set myself up to get in debt. You know what I'm saying? So, but I'm willing to take out a business loan once we get the film project fully funded and made, and I'm able to get a physical building to purchase here in the city of Chicago, and then I would consider that. But right now, that's far. That's down the road. So right now, I'm looking for legitimate artists who are film directors, producers, actors, stage managers, professional fundraisers, technical directors, and marketers who are able to come to Chicago once we raise the capital. We're trying to raise $250,000. That is as low as I am gonna go for this film project, and we want to create a Black empowerment film because I want the whole Black world to know my story. It deserves to be told, and I'm using that my story as a way to recruit others. And those that sat up here and rejected my vision and plan for the past 34 years would not be part of my business. It's membership based. And that goes for my family members as well. People want to come around, once you make it and all that stuff. You don't want to work with people when they're trying to, small and stuff like that. So to me, those are the kind of people I keep my distance from. In my book, I provide my business email address because I want to connect with my readers. And we can do a voice call or a video call. but I want to connect with people that's in agreement and that has the qualifications that I'm looking for. I'm willing to pay, but at this point in time, I have to generate capital. So that's how come we have to do this film project. It is what it is. And again, once we get our film project fully funded and made and the proceeds starts pouring in, then I would be in a better position financially to purchase property in Chicago, Illinois, buy office equipment, hire qualified Black middle class professionals and qualified African immigrants. I want professionals to be on my advisory board or resource team. Those would be Black attorneys, African attorneys, investors, Black entrepreneurs, African entrepreneurs, social entrepreneurs, and philanthropists. I want to make sure that Gurkai of Chicago will be effective and successful for years to come so we can pass it down to the next generation of Gurkam members. I'm only responsible for Gurkam members, those that's not a part of us. We pray for them. We show them tough love, and we're going to keep it moving. If they want to be a slave to the white man, that's on them. To each his own. I'm called by my Lord and Savior, Jesus / Joshua, to rebuild Black Chicago, similar to that of Nehemiah, who was called by God to rebuild the walls of Jerusalem. Nehemiah used qualified engineers, architects, and inventors to rebuild a new city. In contrast, I am seeking Black middle class professionals and African immigrants who have associate's degrees and above. Just keeping it 100. The white man is not stopping Black Americans from purchasing my revised book. The white man is not stopping Black Americans from buying items from my virtual store. The white man is not stopping Black Americans from donating to my film project. That's a personal choice. That's Willie Lynch, which is that slave mentality, ladies and gentlemen. And that's what I'm up against. We have to come against that big time. And next month, that's what we're going to talk about. It's going to be called, the title is The Fall of Black America. Yes, people are talking about the fall of America, the fall of the American Empire. That's true. That's we're in the early stage of that right now. You can tell by the deficit. Look how, America owes so much money. China is becoming the new superpower. It's what it is. So my film project is my last attempt to try to do something positive for Black Americans before I cut and run to Africa. Now, some of my critics would say, how long will it take for me to get my film project fully funded and made? And I tell them, that's up to the Black grassroots and the global African family. The ball is in their court. Ain't nothing more I can do. Again, I've been standing on business for the past 34 years in real life and online. I'm not going to put on no front for anybody. I'm going to be myself. Again, I don't operate like the next Black man. I have, I just stand on truth. You know what I'm saying? And if I catch any con artists up in my business, there will be consequences, and we will have protocol in place to deal with such persons. We can't get at them like we want to because we're in the white man's country. It is what it is. But all I'm saying is I just want law-abiding citizens, that's what this business is for. And we want to screen out the ones that want to cause problems and keep us stagnant and divided. We ain't having that over here, especially on my watch. And that's just how it is. You don't have to like me, but you will respect me because I respect people. So, Friday, okay, upcoming events. Friday, February 27th, we have guest speaker, First Lady Faith Induko from Kenya. She will be interviewing me about my revised book, my virtual store, my film project, and how my Christian business, Gorkai Chicago, will benefit Kenya. So please mark your calendar for our monthly virtual interactive conference, which will take place this coming Saturday, February 28th. Although we don't have a physical building, we are using this technology to broadcast what we're trying to do in Black Chicago and beyond. On this platform, we're genuine, sincere, transparent, and authentic. This event will help expand your network, enhance your profile visibility, and make more meaningful connections with the global community. We are looking for 5 people from my Facebook page, my Instagram page, my TikTok page, my LinkedIn page, and my X page, as well as people um, in my Facebook social groups to come forth and get on camera so that we can discuss the topic of the month. Do I have any takers? Don't be scared. This is give you an opportunity to shine. Again, I can't do everything, but again, I'm willing to share my platform. You know what I'm saying? I give everybody an opportunity for, I would say, for 3 weeks, and all I do is just um, one day in the month, the last Saturday of each month, is when I hold these virtual monthly interactive conferences. If interested in being on the panel, please send me a message to my Facebook inbox, my Instagram inbox, my TikTok inbox, my LinkedIn inbox, or my X inbox, along with your email address, so that way I can email you specific instructions about being on the panel. If you are unable to participate on our monthly interactive conference on YouTube Live, then please listen to the replay, leave a public comment about the topic in the comment section below the audio podcast, and most of all, please share this audio podcast with your friends on all social media sites that you are on. This will help get the ball rolling. If you don't know how to use StreamYard or Zoom, then make arrangements with me, and I'm willing to teach you how to use both of them before you come on the show. Again, if you are a Black artist or an African artist, such as an author, poet, musician, or an entrepreneur, then make arrangement with me to come on this platform so you can promote your books, your business, your music, or if you have a small ministry, then you're more than welcome to share a 30-minute sermon with my listeners from the global community. This year, we are determined to get this film project fully funded and made so that we can get our story on the big screen in order to reach the Black world and let them know who we are and what we're trying to do for my people, Black Americans, who identify as descendants of American slaves / freedmen that are trapped or who are trapped in American ghettos, specifically Black Chicago. I'm available Tuesday, February 24th and Thursday, February 26th from 2 p.m. to 9 p.m. American Central Time. Please select which day works best for you and the time, and let's make it happen. And if you already know how to use Zoom and you just want to come on here to promote your products or services, we can make that happen as well. After the panel discussion, then I'm going to open up the topic, or all of my listeners, for Q&A. Theme: Wake Up Africa series. President Ruto gift to Macron was pure betrayal to Africans. Classic case of exploitation and neo-colonialism. Where YouTube Live, when Saturday, February 28th, time 2 p.m. American Central Time, 3 p.m. Canadian Time, 8 p.m. West African Time, 9 p.m. South African Time, 10 p.m. East African Time, and 8 p.m. UK Time. Title of this presentation: Slavery Still Exists in the United States of America because of the loophole in the 13th Amendment. Okay. Today we're going to speak about convict leasing, since this is the last week of Black History Month, ladies and gentlemen. I discussed this issue in my revised book in Chapter 6 about convict leasing in America. It is an continuation of slavery. The white supremacist financial elites have an immense debt and immense guilt laid on their shoulders and their descendants for what they have done to my ancestors. If we focus more on our history and keep pushing the narrative, this will make our reparation claims more stronger. The issue I have with FBA is that they love arguing back and forth with African immigrants and Afro-Caribbean immigrants all day long instead of focusing their attention on building up the Black community or Black neighborhoods. But again, FBA, they still part of our lineage, but I'm just saying that's how come I don't use the term FBA over here. But I respect them, you know. But over here, we want to get things done. Some people say what I'm talking about is boring, but we're about solutions over here. So, and we're drama free over here. So it is what it is. It's been more. It's been so about immigrants and their disrespect towards Black Americans. That's all I'm seeing online, with these videos. And I have a lot of that on my, I would say my Medium transcript. If you look through, I would say what's been happening for the past, I would say few days and few weeks. Same thing, talking about like one, she's a Afro-Caribbean from Haiti, saying that Black or FBA's, I don't know which one. Okay, I think she was saying Black Americans are dirty. So, little petty stuff like that. And so a lot of people was, getting on her bumper about that. But, the woman's entitled to her opinion. I wouldn't let her talk like that, on my show. But hey, it is what it is. And again, a lot of people do this stuff for ratings and stuff and clicks and likes. I'm not about that. I keep it authentic. I want to solve issues through this business. That's all I'm on. And that's real. The white supremacist financial elites want us to take our attentions off of them and instead focus on nonsense. They love these diaspora wars. They love for FBA to argue with Asians, Arabs, East Indians, and Latinos. But that keeps the attention off of them. We need to get conversation back to reparations. DAS slash FM, descendants of American slaves slash freedmen, our focus is on lineage-based policies for freedmen. Freedmen is a federal classification. During Reconstruction, we were called the freedmen, and we have to have these lineage-based policies, not race lineage. I found an article from the Equal Justice Initiative entitled Convict Leasing, quote unquote. To read the full article, just go to my Medium transcript located in the comment section below this audio podcast. Click on the link, then scroll down to show and prove. If you look at the photos, you will see black women and black children working side by side to serve as laborers for white farmers from 1865 to 1940s. The photos came from the Library of Congress. They they put black children in convict leasing. This is the history they are trying to whitewash. They're trying to get rid of books. They cannot get rid of this information because it's already on the internet. And thank God for the internet, that we live in the information age. After the Civil War, slavery persisted in the form of convict leasing. Convict leasing is a system in which Southern states leased out prisoners to private railroads, mines, and large plantations. I heard many times that the Chinese built the railroads. Black Americans built the railroads during slavery and during convict leasing. The Chinese built the rest of the railroads and it expanded westward. Black Americans built the railroads first. Let's not get that twisted. When FBA says we are the foundation of this country, that's what that means. But for me, the foundation of America is anti-black racism. That was out before the U.S. Constitution. I'm just saying. For me, that's what the foundation is: anti-black racism. The United States of America obtained its wealth through agriculture. For example, sugar, tobacco, cotton, and rice. The white supremacist financial elites could not do all this work on their own. This is why they had slaves from Africa. These states profit from convict leasing, and that's why they owe reparation, because they made a profit. Not one slave made a dime. Prisoners earn no pay and face inhumane, dangerous, and often deadly work conditions. And this is why the U.S. government owes reparation, and why the U.S. government is on the hook, because all of the so-called founding fathers owned slaves. When people say, quote, "Why should I have to pay reparations?" we say in response, because you decided to come over here and you benefit from the resources and opportunities that you didn't have in your own homeland. That's why you have to pay. The U.S. Constitution, ratified in 1865, prohibits slavery and involuntary servitude, but explicitly exempt those convicted of a crime. We as Black Americans, the freedmen, need to fight to get that cause removed from the 13th Amendment, because it's a loophole back to slavery in America. They wanted loopholes in the law. Southern states passed black codes that only applied to Black Americans, the freedmen. They crafted the language to ensure Black Americans and return back into their slaves. They used crafty laws to harm Black Americans. Understand, none of these other groups were sabotaged and targeted by the U.S. government the way Black Americans have. Black Americans face benign neglect policies, Jim Crow, etc. Now, they did have the Chinese Exclusion Act, which blocked Chinese and other Asian groups from coming over here, but they did not do the same thing they did to Black Americans. And anyway, those people had a choice, about wanting to come over here. Our ancestors were forced on those slave ships because those lazy white supremacist financial elites didn't want to do the job themselves. Nobody didn't ask them to come to our continent. Oh my goodness. That's why, I like to write out my speech so that way I can stay focused. Many states Penal systems have more black prisoners than white prisoners. The industrialization, economic shifts, and political pressure ended widespread convict leasing by World War II. The 13th Amendment endangers loophole still permits the enslavement of prisoners who continue to work without pay during public or private industries. According to the article, as of 20, 2010, a federal court held that prisoners have no enforceable right to be paid for their work under the Constitution. That's because they want you to work for free, basically. That's all. I'm not saying prisoners shouldn't work. What I'm saying, the state should at least pay prisoners a minimum wage. That money should go on their books in prison. That could help eliminate a large part of the savagery in prisons. Then they have money to obtain food, buy supplies, or make phone calls. These for-profit prisons have politicians tied in with mega corporations. You can buy public prison stocks in the stock market. These politicians signed agreements for 90% occupancy with the state. How can you guarantee 90% occupancy if crime is going down? You do that by making a profit off these ICE detention centers. I think it should be illegal to have private prisons because it could lead to abuse of power and make huge profits for those big wigs. It is an evil system. Look at how other country, countries rehabilitate their citizens. Many offer them vocational training in prison, and they don't have a high recidivism rate. After ab- abolin, after the oh goodness, sorry, tongue twisted. Abol, abolition of slavery, black men were targeted and often arrested for minor infractions or false charges. The, the grassroots community activist movements would take the lead in mobilizing against these career politicians to remove the slavery clause in the U.S. Constitution under the 13th Amendment that allows slavery in America. We will push to remove qualified immunity as well. It's my hope that someday Greater Chicago could become an international franchise just like McDonald's. And what I mean by that is that yes, it's taken me a very long time to get this business up and running here in Chicago. And again, I'm looking at it. This is spiritual warfare at its best, ladies and gentlemen. But that's how come once we get it popping here in Chicago, I want to turn it over to my management team and I want to bring the business straight to South Africa and get it popping over there and then expand it to other African nations. But until I can get it popping here in Chicago, I can't come to Africa. So, Global African Family, please do me a favor. Help get my revised book on that bestsellers list. Put me on blast. Encourage people from your your country that's live here in the United States. Encourage them to work with me. I can't reach Black Americans because of that slave mentality, and I'm standing on business. Again, I don't operate like the next black man. I have my own style and way of doing things. And if people don't like how I get down, it is what it is. They can keep it moving. But I ain't going to put on no front for anyone. I'm about solving problems. That's what my business is all about. Not complaining about the white man and the government. And we will get those reparations eventually. But my focus is, like I say, trying to find brave and smart people that's going to help me run this thing. Because me and Sister Renee can't do everything. Um, so I found a video entitled, quote, "The Untold Story of Alabama's Incarcerated Workers," unquote. Um, to watch the full video, just go to my Medium transcript. Click on, and it's located in the comment section below this audio podcast. Click on the link and then scroll down to show and prove. Um, and what I'm gonna do too, once I finish going through this, my presentation, I'm gonna show you some slides so that way you can see how to find everything. I would play it, but uh, I'm not feeling too well. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna show you how to find it on my Medium transcript, and then you can take it from there. All right. Um, the Grassroots Community Activist Institute of Chicago will offer a second chance program for ex offenders of nonviolent crimes, former gang members, and homeless individuals who are part of the Black community. We want to focus on the low income Black community because that's where a lot of the problems is taking place. They're being overlooked, and even I would say other Black Americans, they want to put on tunnel vision, and so a lot of bad things is going on there, and not all the time, but it happens a lot. And so that's all I'm trying to do. Bring my business there. Try to, create jobs to keep our youth, off the streets and out of gangs. Work with Black families that want more out of life. And I want to connect with those families. Not behind no computer, but having a physical building so that way we can have um, social interaction in real time. And this is something that we're going to own, GRCAM members, because this is all about, like I say, it's business, but um, ownership. So those that become GRCAM members, you're going to own part of this business. I'm going to give GRCAM members, I'm working out with my attorney to have 2% of ownership of the company. So just saying. These corporations, such as McDonald's and Wendy's, just to name a few, are using our people and not paying them right. These major corporations put money behind these politicians to go along with illegal immigration. This is why the Democrats are fighting so hard for people who don't belong on the soil and can't even vote in our elections. Make that make sense. I've been telling Black Americans for 3 decades we need to get our house in order and also separate ourselves from the enemy within. That's, like I say, these con artists and all that kind of stuff. Some people say, that sound like a scam, what you talking about. And I'm like, hey, I'm just selling a book. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no scam in that. You know? But that's just uneducated people that talk that way, and they entitled to their opinion. But like I say, I just want people to read my story. If they agree, cool. Those that disagree, keep it moving. It's just that simple. First vote. We need to first vote out these Black politicians who are in the pockets of the white supremacist financial elites and only carrying out their agenda. You know. So based on the video, there should be lawsuits filed against these corporations for not paying Black workers a living wage. I'm just saying. But like I say, if I had Chicago, Chicago up and running, I could be hiring these people through the business. But like a lot of Black Americans, they take me for a joke, especially here in Chicago. I don't know why. I'm standing on business. Ain't nothing changed. But like I say, I just wish this stuff can hurry up and come to, you know, fruit um fruition or something like that. Anyway, just to materialize. That's all I'm trying to say in a nutshell. Uh because sooner we're able to get this thing up and running here in Chicago. And before I cut and run, I want to make sure that Sister Renee is well taken care of. She's been working with me now for the past 14 years behind the scenes. Really appreciate that, sister. I wish I had more people like her. That would be a blessing. But hey, it is what it is. And I still believe in and I got love for my racial group, Black Americans. That's why I'm still here. You know, and also I'm trying to fight for the unborn Black youth. But before I couldn't run to Africa, I want to make sure we get it popping here to let Black Americans know that hey, this is what I've been my life assignment. I've been trying my best to get the thing to move to the next level for the longest. You know, but again, God give us free will. You know what I mean? So, but I'm gonna just keep trying my best. That's all I can do. One of the agendas Grekai Chicago would advocate for Black Americans who are unable to just up and leave America due to financial means. The best thing that we can do is to get rid of that slavery clause in the Constitution. Our experience as a collective is very dark here in America, and we don't want to talk about it because it's going to put attention back on the white supremacist financial elites. That's how come they don't want us to talk about these things. But doggone it, that's what I do. I don't want to just talk about it. I want to get the business up and running and do something about it. For us to be alive today is a testament in itself. And these people wonder why their system is spiraling downward. White America supported a system that was created by slavery. They supported a system that they know wasn't right. They supported it was not fair. They support a system that harms and oppress Black Americans in order for them and their families to have a better life. You support a system that would give weapons to certain countries to wipe out certain groups or populations. Please leave a public comment about the topic in the comment section below this audio podcast and share with your friends on all social media sites you are on. This will help get the ball rolling. Thank you for listening to our audio podcast and for joining us on the screen. We greatly appreciate it. I need your support. Our film, as it pertains to our film project, so that way we can move Cam beyond cyberspace and get our story on the big screen to let the whole Black world know who we are and what we're trying to do for my people, Black Americans who identify as descendants of American slaves / freedmen. Quote, Hood Liberator made in Chicago, the war against Willie Lynch begins, unquote. You can be a part of this historic docudrama by contributing to our crowdfunding pages, which are on our GoFundMe page, our Buy Me a Coffee page, or our PayPal Giving Fund page, which will help fund marketing, promotion, clearance, legal, and general expenses. If you are a U.S. citizen, then I recommend that you donate to our PayPal Giving Fund page because you can use it as a tax write-off because this is a legitimate 501c3 nonprofit faith-based and community advocacy organization. You can also purchase items from our virtual store, or purchase my revised book. The ebook is $9.99. Softcover book is $15 plus shipping and handling. We appreciate your support. You can find all of the links below this audio podcast in the comments section. Thank you for listening to our YouTube live or the replay. If you are new to Help Stop the Genocide in American Ghettos, welcome to our safe space where we discuss Black issues and African issues. We do this every week. This will conclude our audio podcast for today. See you on the next episode. Now, before I go, I do want to pull some things up on the, the shared screen. So just bear with me. All right. So I'm going to go to the top. And so this is my Medium page right here, or Medium transcript. And so right here, this is, the title. Slavery still exists in the United States of America because of the loophole in the 13th Amendment. So I encourage my listeners to please hit that follow right there. So you can follow me on here. You can have access to, my speeches and all that. And so now I'm scrolling down. Yes, this is a lot of information, but hey, I'm doing the best that I can. Like I say, I'd rather for this business be up and running, but I can't do that unless, people buy the book. You know what I'm saying? Buy items from the virtual store. So right here, the convict leasing. I'm just pointing this out to you. So you click on that, and that's the way you can read that article. And this is the video about the untold story of Alabama's incarcerated workers. And so I recommend you do that. This is for Saturday. This is the presentation. You would click on here to, watch this. So I recommend that you watch that first, and just send me your information before Saturday if you want to be on the panel. But this is what we're going to talk about. President Ruto's gift to Macron was pure betrayal to Africans. Classic case of exploitation and neocolonialism. So that's what that's about right there. Then, come to find out, Israel officially moving to Kenya since South Africa didn't work. Buy acres of land. It's happening. So that's sad. That's sad. You already see what's going on over there in Palestine. You let those people get an inch, they're going to want a mile. I'm just saying. Doggone it. Why they don't want to go to Europe? You know what I'm saying? But they want to always be up on the continent bugging. Man. I'm just saying. That's what the white people are at, but they want to always be on our continent, then want to act racist. That's the only thing that's a turn off for me. They need our resources. Well, you treat us right, act like you got some doggone sense. If you act a fool, we don't want to fool with you, especially over here. Just saying. Man, it's such a turn off. But man, Kenya, y'all gonna have to deal with those. Those are your leaders in the pockets of the white supremacist financial elites. You guys are gonna have to stand up against those people. You know, I mean, this is what got us in all this mess in the first place. And yes, I mean, our ancestors, a lot of them didn't know any better when those Europeans first landed on our continent, playing like they, want to be all friendly and trade and all that stuff, and just lying because they didn't have nothing going on in Europe. That's how come they ventured out. They didn't want to act all racist and stuff. It's such a turn off. It really is. But my thing is, we do what we just do the best we can. So I recommend, hey, look at all of the stuff that I have. I like to be very I want to say informed. That's the kind of person I am. I don't just limit myself. And so this is my receipts. I'm always going to keep coming back to this. Talks about black women. 44,000 black women raised 1.5 million for Kamala Harris in 3 hours. All the black women that I have on my friends list, if they would just use that same energy, I'm just trying to raise 250,000 for this film project, you will see a very big impact in our community. I'm just saying. So that's how come I always use the same, these things. And again, right here, I mean, you can click on there to see it, but I'm just saying, black women, 92% voted, for Kamala. Black men, 77%. See how high these numbers are? I'm glad that lady lost because by Trump being in the White House now, it opened black Americans' eyes. They need that type of reality or that reality about racism and up and close. And so we have 3 years left to get this film project fully funded and made. Because after that, once I believe the Democrats, because it's tit for tat, but eventually the Democrats going to win the White House again, and all they're going to do is open up those borders. And when they do, they're going to send those illegal, they're going to dump them right back into the black community or black neighborhoods, so that way they can compete against black Americans for resources. And within one generation, they're going to man, it's going to be rough. And that's what I'm going to talk about next month for my virtual conference. And so, hey, I mean, we still got a chance. We still have a chance to get this business up and running, hopefully get it popping in other cities, black people to have something to hold on to, because it's going to get worse here in America. That's all I can tell you. For those of you that want to remain here. Right here, this is scroll down to where it says my credibility. This is my book. This is our GoFundMe page for this. These are the crowdfunding sources that I use. GoFundMe. Click on there. You see, I still don't have any donations as of yet. It is what it is. But you can't say Emmanuel hasn't tried. You know what I'm saying? Our PayPal Giving Fund page right there. Buy me a coffee. Now, I'm using these different ones because some people tell me, oh, I don't like GoFundMe. I say, okay, well then use PayPal or use Buy Me a Coffee. You know, this is my virtual store right here. You know, so thank you all, ladies and gentlemen. And so I just wanted to share all that with you. All right. Peace and blessings.